Hey, traders.
Doge update Plaza.
What's up, Kirk, man? Thanks for 20. Yeah, sure, we'll look at Doge. What could have been and what is. Yeah, we'll look at it. Thanks, man. All right, so there are only a few things that have occurred in the crypto market today that really stick out. It's just some altcoins that are doing really good stuff. I mean, unreal, like Unphased by yesterday's dump, or at least acting like, you know, everything's still good. But if you're looking at Bitcoin on the daily, looks like in less than 2 hours until you'll make a lower close than yesterday's close, gross. Still flirting with that 200-day moving average, clearly above it, but barely. Earlier we were not above it. Certainly no edge going on right now on the daily, and below that 47,000 area, but still above a candle low close from February 28th that it did test again today. So, I mean, the sell-off could still be in play. There could still be more selling. You're just really, right, with no edge, right? One dump, a big impulse down with the consolidation at where, you know, the selling kind of stopped. It could dump again, or it could, you know, pivot and rally, and, you know, stuck between just a couple levels. Don't really have an edge. Nothing's implying upside or downside yet. So normally when an impulse starts like that, you'll attempt to rally, you'll make a lower high, you'll test areas as resistance, and you'll sell off again after the oscillators reset. And then you might get lucky and end up developing bullish divergence, right? The impulse, and that's how the W's and M-shaped formations, I think that's in a lot of ways how they can keep playing out over and over and over again, right? Where the asset would, you know, stall here, rally, create that B point, then sell off again to a lower low and candle close, right? X, A, B, and then C happens, and at that slightly lower low, you get higher levels of relative strength, maybe lower levels of negative momentum, and then that would imply upside. But none of that is in existence right now on Bitcoin, unfortunately. The things we look for an edge, they're not quite there. And you did make on the 4 hour a lower low than your late August lows, right? That confirmation, double bottom, whatever. You're below that right now, unfortunately. But one asset is not, you know, I mean, of course it did sell off bad like a lot of other things, most things, but Ethereum's characteristics, the chart characteristic is different, it's better. If you look at those same lows, one from, like, you know, mid-late August and August 27th, August 30th, what is Ethereum doing? I mean, on the 4 hour anyway, it's making a higher low than those lows that Bitcoin's now lower than. So that means more market participants own this asset than they did before. It's clearly outperforming Bitcoin in the selling. It's not near as bad as Bitcoin's selling. Okay, just based on local lows. On a 4 hour time scale, they're not really visible on the daily. Okay, so now you're just butting up against that old flag. You're butting up against that top part as resistance. There's no edge here either. Not really. I'm just witnessing the actual price action correlation compared to Bitcoin, and I like it. I mean, I really like Ethereum better than Bitcoin right now. Okay, and then we could give me a sound check too. You can. I mean, Ethereum to Bitcoin, bouncing off the 200 moving average on the 4 hour, hidden bullish divergence. Developed on the 4 hour. Really good there. React at an 88% retrace. Beautiful bullish, bearish bat pattern completion zone. Reacted and is attempting a rally here, and the daily looks great. It's about to bullishly engulf, chat. We're about to get a bullish engulfing candle on Ethereum to Bitcoin, and there was technically no buyer exhaustion at the PCZ. I love that. I love the fact that the long-term trend is bullish. And so what we know about, you know, bearish harmonics and really bullish trends, they oftentimes react at those levels, but they a lot of times are not what usher in the immediate or major reversal of the whole trend. I don't think that's the case here. And so that gives me strength in my argument for saying I like Ethereum better than Bitcoin, technically. And something else I want to bring up that I don't do it too often. I normally disregard the 200, but man, if you look at On the daily, the 20 and the 50 moving average, you will be so impressed here. Look at this price action. This is what really bullish assets do, okay? Really bullish assets above the 20, the 50, the 200. Right, in this order, the 20 is above the 50, which is above the 200. Okay, well off the 200. But look how this asset on the daily is back testing the 20-day simple moving average as support before this engulfing candle. I mean, remember, anything above 50 is in really good shape for upside. You didn't even test it. Is that how strong it is before we engulf in 1 hour, 41 minutes? It's so good, man.
$22.49. Hey Mitch, I just got hired by C. Schwab, going to gain experience in the corporate finance world for a few years. We'll still tune in. Much love.
That's awesome, dude.
0.004830.7 BTC.
Hey man, Charles Schwab, I dig them, right? They were my first brokerage account ever, my IRA, my SEP, all Charles Schwab. I love it, dude. So congrats, man. That's a big hype in the chat. We got someone going in on the inside. Thank you, dude. That's freaking great, dude. And let's see, 22.49. All right, that's. Oh yeah, a Bitcoin. I'm like, wait, how's he tipping me $22.49 a fiat? Who does that? Yeah, anytime I see the centage, I think. All right, so I'm just trying to present something, right? I mean, you know, I'll tell you this, dude. On Bitcoin, before we go into the coins that are doing things, you know, like Bitcoin, man. 2 days ago, I'm thinking about it, and it's like, you know, things looked so technically perfect on Bitcoin before this whole, you know, over-leveraged traders got wrecked. It was a pullback that happened at a 65-66% retrace. It wasn't even the 618. It was more the golden pocket. And yeah, bearish and golden candle. I think the long-term analysis I had 2 days ago is still intact. I don't think this is really that big of a deal. Look at the 50-day moving average. You're above that. Yeah, you just fell below the 50. I'm sorry, the 20. That happens, man. Remember, when you're using the 20 and the 50, understand the equilibrium zone for your price action, if you're talking about the 20 and the 50, is anywhere above the 50, right, to the 20, right? So the price can fall below the 20, no problem, goes to 50. You want to hold that. Sometimes you fall below it. As long as you get back above it, all is well, right? I mean, that happens, okay? Even in really nice uptrends, you'll have pullbacks and you'll fall below the 20 and you'll sometimes test the 50. We did that here back in January, right? We did it again right here in late March. And things started getting wacky after that, I understand. But we're doing that same thing. We're testing the slower moving average, the 50, below the 20, but we're right above the 200, and let's just say maybe within the next 7 days, if things don't get violently bearish, you're gonna inevitably have a golden cross on the daily on Bitcoin, right? The last time we had a golden cross on Bitcoin, you gotta go way back, man. You gotta go all the way back to right here. You gotta go back to May 20th of last year before we had a golden cross. Really good things happened after that. Okay, so slow moving averages, takes time for things to catch up, and things still don't really look that bad on Bitcoin. Okay, it was not really too much of a technical reversal when you had broken above all major resistance points. You broke above the 618. Your weekly had gone into the bullish control zone. Your monthly still is there. Your daily's not there anymore. It's neutral. Your 3-day, I think, still there. I mean, your technicals are still fine right now. They really are. I mean, besides the engulfing, look at this on the 3-day. Look at these moving averages. Dang, man. Your 20 is about to have a bullish crossover of the 50. That's always good.
Is there an entry in there somewhere?
What's up, Ben? Thanks for the super chat. We'll look at it. 2214. Yep. Thanks, man. So yeah, I mean, definitely a bearish and golden candle in the midst of being painted, but it wasn't happening when buyers were exhausted. It could have very well just been something to do with El Salvador, IMF. You know, I think there are a lot of powers that be out there with a lot of money that don't like what El Salvador did. There's right, isn't there competitors to Bitcoin that are currently the status quo? probably not a coincidence. It just happened. Sell the news event. Anyway, so I'm just looking at Bitcoin so we could talk about it. I know it seemed fine before the crash, but
watching and learning on the stream is the best part of the day. Keep killing it, Ma. 0.06733036 LTC.
Rodney, thank you for the 1226 kind words and the Litecoin crypto contribution, right? Hey man, I just DCA'd into Litecoin. I'm not selling that. That 1226 sits in Litecoin is just gonna accumulate like all the other crypto tips I receive from y'all. So I do prefer crypto tips over super chats all day because I get more of it. I get like all of it. So okay, so we covered Bitcoin, we covered Ethereum, kind of hardcore, right? And you know, now we can get into names like Algorand, excuse me. Okay, what's it doing? Let me turn on these moving averages real quick. Sorry, it's really messy. Oh, really busy. Excuse me. Okay, so where is it? I mean, this is like, besides the scarring of the crazy volatility yesterday, I mean, did exactly what assets should do. The Wix, unfortunate, right? Dang, man, everyone just got stomped out of Algorand because they were using the critical inflection point that we had identified between 115 and 120 as support. But traders never settled up lower than that level. Nah, not when even the crash happened. It held that. And so then bullish engulfing candle happens. And what happens above this inflection point historically, mostly straight up, straight down, between 120 and 170. Well, you thought you had a spring back test here, but you had I guess a stronger, truer spring back test here, and you went straight up. You went straight up to the next levels, and now you're at these high risk levels for new longs, fresh longs, extremely high risk. But this is just kind of testament to inflection points. I guess it could be educational in a way, the way we're looking at it, right? And I have no idea if this asset's going to break above 184, which is all-time highs. I don't know. It did. I mean, like, you know, intraday, it got to all-time high of like 191. Great. Congratulations on all-time highs today. Today, one day after at one time, 20% crash on Bitcoin. And understand, if you're scared about Bitcoin, it dumped 20% but rallied, you know, 10%. In the past year, well, it was really between like May of 2020 and May of 2021, Bitcoin has seen a 20% crash, correction, pullback 8 different times. So historically, oh my God, man, what happened today has happened like 8 other times in history, and we've only made higher highs, higher lows, and eventually pivoted and run again. But yeah, then you got some altcoins that don't even care.
Could you please check XPR/USDT on KuCoin?
XPR looks great. I saw it today scanning. It actually, no one wants to talk about XPR. They only talk about XRP. XPR looks like this massive weekly major double bottom type 2 that could go nuts. Maybe. Right? It's got to break that resistance. It went up and tested it. That one has respected the TA despite all its lack of liquidity. There's another one that looks really good too, low risk areas. My God, storage. That's another headliner, not because of its price action today, but what it's trying to hold. We'll look at these, okay. Oh, the rain is falling outside. As you can see, the clouds, right? It's actually literally IRL raining here. So, okay, so if it was to break out, right? Okay, what are we gonna do, man? If it's gonna break out, just go from that all-time high to the lowest low of the correction afterward. And you can get targets for Algorand. 216 would be your first target if it actually broke out and went to the next levels, went into price discovery.
They look awesome and are high quality. These have made a great addition to my office. Thanks, Mitch.
Snipes, I'm glad you like it. Shout out Wayne Batson for the fantastic artisanship on those. Yeah, and educational too, right? High quality, educational, but fun at the same time. Tries to be what this stream is. It's subjective. Some people might hate it. But anyway, it was always about the charts. And having someone to talk to when you make money. or when something insane happens on markets you care about, right? That's what this community is. So that's Algo. Yeah, man, H-bar's pumping today too. That's kind of a newer thing. It was up like 5% earlier, but dude, it's back tested 30 cents as support. Okay, so what were the names I had on the list real quick? Oh, Algo, Sol. Yeah, we got to look at SOL. My God, what a beast. SOL has exceeded a 4.236 fib extension from that old May 18th high to the correction low June 22nd. 193. Obvious target's $200. I mean, right? 199.99 in case people have massive sell orders at the 200 mark. There it is. There's your $200, and after that, well, I mean, 210, 220, 230, 250. Okay, there's nothing actionable to do here. It's parabolic, it's gone insane, and it's just a sight to behold. But, you know, fresh longs, kind of almost a death sentence. This is where you ask to lose your money to the composite operator buying right now. I'm sorry, but you play the numbers game with assets that look like this taking longs now, you'll lose your house. Yep. Dang, chat's kind of lit today, a little bit. Maybe. A little lit. Like, I don't know. So that's Sol. Algo, let's look at Hex real quick, because that thing laughs at Bitcoin's crash. It really does, man. If I can find it on my, oh, there it is. Oh yeah, 11% up. Wow, Jesus chimes for Hex, officially hitting the 3.618 fib extension from that previous all-time high in July to the correction low, the 3618, ladies and gentlemen. It did it, man. Remember we talked about the 2618, what happens if you break it? Probably the 3618. Here we are. We actually exceeded it today, but no higher. You can see the purple line that it's regarding there, you know, for the first time, like on this 4-hour candle, not the last one. And if we ever broke that, man, all I can tell you is 50 cents. The 4.236 fib extension. That's it, man. I mean, that's, you know, whatever. Unstoppable for now. Stacy at 1 cent. No one was telling you here that Hex was a scam. We aren't here to discern or care if something is literally a scam. If we look at the chart and it's presenting us with opportunities to make money, we have protective stop losses in case it is a scam and it does dump. We get stopped out. Buy, go to zero. I don't care. It's all about making yields. And that's it. So, I mean, great stuff on Hex. Remember yesterday what we had talked about? 4-hour hidden bullish divergence was in development after that crash. Unreal. Huge bullish and golden candle that was being painted, I think, the last 4-hour candle of the day yesterday. Nice follow through. Jordan West, you clearly have no regard for what I do here to say that, dude. Why are you even watching the stream, man? Like, I don't care if it's a scam or not. This is not a scam. An asset that double bottoms at old all-time highs, confirming the bottom, that's not scam. That's like low risk opportunity for potential, like, you know, breakout to the upside, and it did that. It went insane. No matter what you do, you post a trade setup at 1 cent and it goes to 44 cents eventually. Someone's gonna denigrate me. Someone's gonna talk crap about me. Like, right? Crazy. Okay, so one thing we haven't talked about is total. I like totals. Yes, we like totals, chat.
I like turtle.
It was reacted brilliantly at the 886, right? The 88.6% retrace. We had that tweezer top, bearish and golden candle. Pretty, I mean, amazing, right? I mean, where it did it was a place where we talk about the 886 all the time, right? And the good news is, it might just be setting up for a bullish 5-0. a bullish 5-0. An asset will, at this level, sell off 50% from its low to high. It didn't quite get there. Reminds me of Ethereum, 1.79 trillion. Happens to be confluent with the February 21st high. I mean, that still might be a possibility. So if things don't go well for Bitcoin, that's very well where this is probably going. To test this level of inflection, it's starting to get really strong. So resistance, resistance, support, resistance, resistance. Maybe it becomes support again, and it just so happens to be perfect where the bullish 5-0, an asset after hitting the 886 or 113, retraces 50%, and at the 50% retrace, we're looking for some sort of type 1, type 2 return, right, where we got double bottom, inverse head and shoulders, some sort of Wachowski structure down here. And normally what happens at the 50% in really bullish conditions, the asset will just continue on to the upside. So didn't quite get there, but my God, you were only, wow, dude, you were only 2.39% of the way from hitting the pattern completion zone of the bullish 5-0. That's incredible, dude. I'm sorry. That's awesome. Okay, are we cool on total? Let's see here. There was one more. I think it was loop ring. Yeah, loop ring's fine, man. Like, look at loop ring. Did the whole, wow, chat. I mean, we look at total. Let's just flip the total chart over, dude. We'll look at the total chart. 88% retrace before reaction, right? 88% retrace before reaction, chat. Major mega M shape. Rallied in incredible run from this reaction reversal low, and has pulled back as you think they would. They do that. That's why we have like 3 targets on trade setups on these big patterns, right? Because they may hit these levels, underperform, you get 1 or 2 targets and it sells off like this. Pivots much higher than the lowest low of the harmonic, right? Or at least the D point, the PCZ, and then it runs again and eventually goes to those targets and might go all the way beyond to all-time highs if the market conditions go nuts. So what is loop ring doing right now? It's up 10%. Look, a back test, an old high from September of 2020 has now become support. Yes, support. Anything above that, really good. I mean, that's not a joke area. Don't know if you want to be messing with it so much below that. Dang, man, look at this high back from December 2017. That was when it was manufactured, first time ever. And you've had price action correlation there. Look what happened when this level was tested as support in April 2018. It fell below it, but once you got back above it and you held that, look at where it went. It went all the way up to $1.11. That's pretty nice. And then after that, it became resistance, resistance, and then dumped to the abyss. So that's why you don't want to really see this asset fall below 38 cents. It's not. It just held it as support, and there could be a lot of upside if Bitcoin wills it. I think it's not going to go too well. It could just continue bleeding out if Bitcoin bleeds out, but that's your cutoff maybe on loop ring for the historical reasons I just presented to you, right? Hold above 38 cents. Really good things can happen to this asset that's already had a really nice run. Okay. Ethereum to Bitcoin broke out and back tested the triangle. Did it? I don't think I posted supply lines there on the top 2 trend lines or top 2 anchor points. I could have. Yep. So that's those are like the bigger ones. Let's go to H bar real quick. That's up more than before, and it is beautiful. I mean, in the end, it came to backtest the 200 moving average, an inflection point from May and June, right? Tested it as support, held, and really nice. I mean, this is what you consider, at least on the 4 hours, turning into a V shape, right? But you go to the daily, taking out a lot of noise, and it looks really good here. Earlier, just a few minutes ago, I was trying to bullishly engulf. Still could be, but look at the 200-day moving average being tested not once, but twice here. But what's really important for H bar is to close the day above 30 cents. I think that's the mega inflection point. where you can have a lot of wide open spaces if you can stay above this. I don't think this is bad at all. I think H bar really promising right here above 30 cents. Take heed of this, understand what's happening technically and where this asset has gone before when it gets above this level. One time it didn't do too well, right? May 2nd, it only made it 34 cents. But every other time it's gone to at least 41 cents above 30 cents. So 25 to 27%, whatever upside on this asset. It's not bad. Oh, did you say steak? You did. So I must subject you to an opportunity possibly. This asset, steak, is so illiquid. I hate it, but if we're looking at it like we would any other asset, let's say this was Amazon, unreal. It's great low risk areas. Anything above 751 is unbelievable opportunity for upside. You just look in history, okay, at what 751 is, and you can see when you broke it initially August 16th, you came and you kind of created that support August 21st. From August 21st, when it became support, the asset ran up 489% in 12 days. Less than 2 weeks it did that. Okay. So there was another time in history where it held, but market participants didn't really know at the pattern completion zone. This was an old trade setup that was brilliantly successful. It was unreal. I can look it up. But this was the entry right here, okay? Because it was a reaction low at the 886, a reversal low. Well, once market participants gained that confirmation they needed, the asset eventually went on a run that took it up 466% in 48 days. So here we are, once again, chat. Long time it's taken to get here, and it took 152 days to finally get back down to the levels that we love seeing for low risk, high reward opportunities. And it's just sitting there marginally above that 750 area. And it's kind of, it fell below it, but then it sprung, and then you could argue that it back tested the spring. But anywhere between where it is now and 750 could be incredible for a trade, where the upside potential minimum $15, $16. After that, probably gonna be 20, but then after that, it's $26 to $28, then $40. My God. It's in the pattern completion zone of a beautiful textbook bullish what? A bullish crab pattern. Reaction low, potential reversal low on the higher low above the inflection point. Oh my God. Okay, so there's the thought process of steak. Here it was, chat. That fateful day. The price was just about $1 lower. About $1 lower than where it is right now. The date was January 3rd. Happy New Year, everyone. Things were nuts. But steak had just not quite taken off yet. But you can see the thought process here. There was seller exhaustion at the pattern completion zone at the inflection point.
Sold 50 hex for this tip. Mini still on UDT Unibright. Took profit at $3.50. Wondering if you can check the fibs for me. Play the macro or watch this do a chain link.
DJT, thank you, man.
Thanks for the education. Great community.
Thanks for supporting the channel, the stream that is 100% crowdsourced. There is no marketing. There is no sponsor. You are the sponsor, the viewers. There is no affiliate marketing. No, use Coinbase. I wonder how much could have made off that. None of that, dude. Crowdsourced. So, steak. You get the thought process because why I would have posted this, right? Here we are again, chat. Once again, we're back at the same level 170 days later. And if you really think about it on steak, if you go from the lowest low ever to that high, 88% retrace, this momentum shifting structure is developing. What are you being taught here? What is Scott Carney teaching you? 88% sale on stake. So you don't have to take action on it, but you certainly need to take heed of what it's doing, absorb this information, and then maybe, just maybe, one could apply it to their own trades in the future on other assets that are maybe more liquid than this one. But this is a great specimen example of what you want to see before major reversals to the upside. Okay? So like, that's good enough for the stream. I mean, I could be like, all right, stream's over. You probably, hopefully you got your value out of just seeing this. Okay? Bueller? Why no updates on this? Why haven't I read chat? Why am I read chat? People are just, I mean, I'm showing you education. This is a fishing pole. I'm helping you. I'm giving you a fishing pole, not the fish. Even though this is kind of a fish too. I'm giving you the fishing pole and the fish at the same time, so you can apply this to traditional assets, or traditional markets, or untraditional markets. Doesn't matter. You're missing the point. If you're asking, why have I missed this asset? Why am I not looking at this? It's like, come on, dude, relax. Spend some time investing in yourself.
/USD Coinbase Gartley on the 4 hour. Reaction currently waiting on the type 2 reversal.
Okay. We will take a gander at it. Thank you. It's nice, man. All right, so yeah, I mean, we can real quick. I mean, I've been getting away from it because the euphoria in crypto has been getting so high. There's so much activity. It's like there's not enough time to look at everything. I mean, if you want to, let's just look at the money printer go burr unstoppable. Here's your S&P 500 that didn't hit all-time highs today, but it's good, and it's right around there. It's just hanging out down 0.13%.
Hey, yo, boss man, first time in a while I'm able to watch the stream live again because I'm back on nights. Could we take a look at that if you haven't already? Thanks.
Yeah, we'll look at VeChain. Thank you, Manimal, for the 20. Thanks for being an annual, right? Recently. So all you look at is just like, okay, a nice upsloping channel near all-time highs. Money printer go burr. You're fine above $4,400. That's kind of it. There's a gap fill around 44.37 that could be filled. The demand line, the long-term demand line's above that. So great. Could continue upward. You could imagine. Oh, this is just ridiculous. I mean, you know, all kinds of bearish divergence every time it keeps happening. It doesn't, it like kind of plays out and then just moons again. It just goes up. It's like bearish variables and these ridiculously inflated bullish conditions. They're just not very reliable. There's your S&P 500s. Giant rising wedge. I mean, where does it start here? September 3rd.
Cheers, Mitch. Quick question for you. When do you say that divergence has fully played out or not quite yet played out? How many candles need to close and or sustain a level after a move to call divergence fully played out? Thanks.
It's a good question, man. I don't know, you look back at some prime examples of when Bitcoin bearish divergence played out. I think it's just normally the impulse, like if you're saying this was bearish divergence, which you're right in the end, yeah, the crash was so fast, it's like, oh, that's when it was climbing the day before, so it's like, oh, how did you even identify it properly? It was diverging on the way up, but right, and it even broke the RSI trend line on the daily. There was all this bearish divergence, broke it, then dumped. Normally, I mean, you say it plays out when a sell-off occurs and eventually a pivot starts. I mean, it's playing out. The bearish divergence, if you're looking at it like that way, is playing out, and you don't know. Like, you don't exactly know until you hold above critical supports, you show some sort of Japanese candlestick reversal or something, right? In bearish conditions, really bearish conditions, my God, it's not over, and it could continue until you're over freaking sold. So I don't know if we're in those conditions that are really bearish. Aquaponics, you talked about fish. Anyway, expanding the collection in a red coffee cup to stay sharp in the market. I wish everybody a lot of success, maybe. He said it. I lost it. A lot of tendies and hype. I thought it was maybe gonna be
Love your
success.
stuff, Mitch. Please check out Trust Swap /USDT. Good upside it seems.
Sure, GGO. Thank you, man, for the 21. Yep. Trust swap. Absolutely. It's really not an easy question, and it's chart by chart, you know, and market conditions really can dictate that. Like, and we've seen some bearish divergence that, you know, like right here. I mean, it was undeniable bearish divergence on January 8th to February 19th. Bearish divergence, right? Pending price action reversal. It happened, but the trend wasn't over. It didn't usher in the trend reversal. It sold off and went to, you know, the 40s, pivoted, and then went again to a higher high. And then when you made a higher high, you made even lower levels of relative strength, lower levels of positive momentum. Bearish divergence. Dang, man, that's really bearish. Triple bearish divergence. Sold off, wasn't done, and then went one more time, and then there was even lower. So it was pretty much in the end quadruple RSI bearish divergence at this last peak. One thing we could look back in hindsight to remember for the future and on all assets is 1 high, 2, 3. The rule of 3, right? After that third time when it's crazy like that, and a slightly higher high, just be careful. And really the confirmation was the spring back test, or the up thrust back test, right? This was the high, this was the up thrusting through 58K, and then we back tested 58K as resistance. That is the inverse of a spring back test of spring. That's what we're looking for, you know, that type of price action is where dreams are made of. So Stake's kind of doing something like that. That's why I brought it up and talked about it. Stake. Similar price action to what Bitcoin was doing at the top if you invert the chart. Okay, anyway, starting these requests, there's not many of them. Let's go to the first one. Yeah, DOT looks fine. It's actually very interesting. I looked at this earlier today. I even think I posted about it to patrons on like just the Citadel chat. But look, anything above 2650 to 2750 that is above the major inflection point that's been plotted here. You've noticed this. It's been here. Anytime we look at it, we come here. That's there. It's above it, barely. It's barely above the 200-day moving average as well. I went and tested it yesterday. Tested it again today. It's just right. If we zoom in, scale in, so you can see that correlation to the 200 simple, that red line. You're barely above it, but more importantly, you're above the levels that, you know, congestion areas. Anything above this level long enough eventually could see 40. I thought it was going to 40. Then Bitcoin ruins the show. And in the end, there was bearish divergence here. A high, then a higher high with lower levels relative strength. Looks like that played out. But dang, the bearish divergence played out and it's still above very critical levels that above these, there could be still 43+% upside on DOT if this holds. If it doesn't, you're probably going to $20. But if it holds for real, 43% upside on DOT, that's your target above 2750. The freaking target is $40. That's it. Bitcoin dumps, I have no idea how this asset could hold 2650 to 2750. I don't think it would. I think it would fall below it. But if Bitcoin somehow holds this and consolidates and doesn't dump again, this thing's probably going to $40. That's it. Okay, just one of those days, man. One of those days. I like it, dude. I like DOT above this level a lot. All right, yeah, this is where we need to look at the next request that actually does look interesting. It's on my other watch list. Kind of crazy, man, if I can find it. God, it's up 15% now. This is what I'm talking about. This is a request XPR Proton, not XRP, not Ripple. This is why I love it. I loved it down here. I truly did. I talked about this. I pinged patrons about it. You can just, if you're a patron, you just type in XPR and hit enter on the search and you'll find the charts posted here. Even posted about it back here before it went insane. So if this asset ever broke 9/10 of 1 penny, it could do the same thing it's done in the past, which is go berserk. It went up and it tested it before Bitcoin crashed, but is holding on pretty well. I mean, it's not much lower than its price that you saw September 6th before the crash, which was the highest candle close since like June 9th. This thing's fine. On the daily, it looks great. If you go to the weekly, whoa, the weekly is beautiful. Like, you're just showing positive momentum again for the first time since May. You bullishly engulfed last week, which was the first histogram wick that's positive. Right, you're above 40 on the RSI, nice, neutral. But just get, like this week, you just tested that resistance, and only reason you probably pulled back is because of Bitcoin. If Bitcoin doesn't dump, this thing looks really, really good. And your target, I'm telling you, if you're just holding this because you love the structural development, the target is 2.2 cents on the weekly. One would just be holding this until it hits 2.2 cents. That's it, XPR. Which, Ray? I'm glad you saw that. I thought it was crazy. I'm the only person who saw it. Yeah, it's very real. Dude, so good looking. Stuff like this, I would hope this is why you watch the stream, not for like, other reasons, but it's good, man. Just put it on your watch list and observe it. And let's see what happens in the coming 3 to 5 months. Each candle here represents 1 week, so it's slower time scale, but that means it's more significant, right? Have your alerts set up above 9.7 tenths of 1 penny, because it could go insane after that. This is Proton, XPR. Very nice. Next request. I mean, it was, like someone asked for it. It's not really too much to look at. This was UBT Unibrite. It hit, it exceeded the pattern completion zone. Yeah, it did do that. But, I mean, that sometimes can happen. It's crazy, right? Reacted up at this level, okay. Pull back, anything above 224 on UBT is fine. Price discovery mode above 225. I'm plotting that too. Yeah, anything like you're good above that. I don't think there's anything quite actionable yet, but dang man, you would be if this like crapped around for a week. You probably start losing that negative momentum, right? Because you're at your highest level of negative momentum ever, and that has to do with the price being at its highest price ever. You could develop hidden bullish divergence, pivot, and then run again. And then you could run up and maybe test 442 again for a type 2, right? What happens? They react, sell off, pivot, and then they attempt to rally before they reverse violently to the downside, or they just blast through and continue up, because this trend is certainly, without a doubt, bullish, very, very bullish. So this was a pullback. I don't think nothing's over for this one. It's not bearish. It's still very, very bullish. And you would say it's amazing until it maybe fell below 224. Then it's kind of like, I don't know if I want to be messing with it as much, because it could go much, much lower. So like go test the 200-day moving average at 160. But then it's like all it has to do is make a higher low than its previous discernible swing low, which is July 20th. July 20th low at 97 cents. God. That's it. Hey, wow, dude. Hey, Zapster. Zapster, thank you so much for joining the annual Patreon. So please get some. That's incredible. That's the single best way to support this community, this stream, this channel. Join the annual Patreon, right? You get 1 month off, right? You join for the year. You're only paying for 11 months, not 12. So thank you, dude, for that. How many annual patrons do we have now? Annual Patreon has only been an amenity that exists for about 1 year now. That's it. It didn't exist, you know, in like most of 2020. That's great, man. All right, so there's your UBT. DJT, thanks, man. Okay, let's go to...
You're a good dude. Hopefully a Fiat Hexy.
Fiatcha? I don't know what that means. Simple lots, but I do appreciate the contribution. Much love, man. Thank you. Kind words, and the words I don't understand. Okay. Let's see. Gartley, huh? Here's your dash to US dollar on Coinbase. Talking about a Gartley here on the daily. No. But he says the 4 hour. So we go to the 4 hour. I don't see it. I see this asset below inflection points that are needed to be above. I don't really see anything actionable. It's very similar to Bitcoin in price action. It made a lower high. Where would you anchor, right? On the 4 hour for a Gartley, you would anchor. Nothing makes sense until you anchor July 19th low. And then if that's the case, you get a long way to go. So 134, right? But yeah, there is like a low here. There's more data on other exchanges like Binance. And that's normally what I'm looking at. So maybe I'll just go to that one real quick. You want to see this asset get back above 220, all right? Not as enthused about this. Maybe there's not that much data on this thing, man. Where is all the data? I thought Dash had a crap load of data. Not on Binance either. What? Maybe it's on not Tether, but there it is. Oh my God, there it is. It's not really the one I've been looking at though, so. Okay, so you see a major inflection point on Dash with more data in June of 2019. You see low, it's really a little zone here. It's like the low from November 2017, a high from August 2018, right? The high here too that didn't quite make it, June 2019. You're below that. You get back above it, we're in really, really good shape. So I'll just plot this for you so you can see it.
Hi Mitch, what's the difference between the composite operators for Sol and Hex? Thank you.
What's the difference between the composite operators? Dude, we don't know who they are. I mean, I think we know who the composite operator for Hex is. It's Richard Hart. I don't know about SOL. SOL has like institutional buyers. I know that, like Novogratz or whatever. He's bought like a bunch of SOL. I think even Raw Paul, like he's got a thing, crypto thing, and they have a lot of Sol, and also I think Luna, and there are a couple more. You have to do your research on that one to figure it out. So anyway, all right, you understand the levels. Dash's levels, $55, $60, extremely important. What's more important than that level? The one you're slightly below, 211, 230. This is it. You get back above it, I think you got a real good chance for a lot of upside, man. Candle line close right there. Right, straight down, straight up. Straight down, straight up, straight down. If you get above 229, that's where you can get really bullish on this again. Until then, it's like you kind of double topped. You double topped and you've sold off and you're below that BAMM, right? That August 31st low and the inflection point from history. So there could be a lot more downside if Bitcoin doesn't turn it around bullishly. It doesn't pivot here. If it's gonna, without any variables implying anything on the 4 hour, if it keeps selling off, this is gonna keep selling off too. And you don't wanna get too separated or far away from this level. Okay, you wanna get above it. You wanna fake out and rally back above 230 and hold it. That's Dash. Okay. Next one. Next request, that is. This one, in the end, you just cannot be surprised, right? Like VeChain, what did it do in the end? Right, VeChain, the aggressive targets of the harmonic, it hit them once, it hit A, and then it hit C. Like, it's literally like perfect. I can't even believe how literal effing perfect it was. Target 1, sold off. Target 2, sold off. But still above the 200-day moving average. There was definitely, in the end, RSI divergence, I guess, but I don't know how bad it's going to play out. It went and it tested this high from March 22nd, a candle low close from May 29th. And this is like a real inflection point. You can see historically how the price action correlates to 9.899 cents. It tested it and bounced violently. It's still above that level, you know, the 200 moving average, like I said, and not really much of an edge if you're looking at the daily. I mean, this could end up bleeding out and full resetting and doing another X, A, B, C, D. Like, think about another shark here. But we're thinking based on the mega X, A, B, C, D, it's no, like it's not gonna do a complete reset. It's just gonna pivot, making a much higher low than 6 cents and then go again and eventually come up to these 23 to 25 cent levels. So just a mild pullback after hitting resistance points. We knew if it ever broke that 15 cent level, it'd probably go really fast up to 20 plus cents. It couldn't, and Bitcoin wouldn't let it. And it will continue to dump and retest 9.899 cents of Bitcoin dumps. That's VeChain. You said something, nope, that's it. Yeah, I already mentioned it, Brad. We've already done all that. Yep.
You say a legendary Gartley put you on the map. I believe it was that amazing Richard Schuler Hacks interview stream. Now you have an amazing community of hacks enthusiasts. No TA on hacks needed, it only goes up. True TA hexagons no, 0.03200000 LTC.
Anonymous, in terms of growth for my channel, no, not even close. I mean, like, my growth is like stalled a lot. But dude, back then I went from like 6,000 subs, maybe 5,000, 4,000 subs to 20,000 subs, and like, so I gained like 15,000 subs in a matter of like 3 or 4 months. That's not happening now, not even close, man. 50,000 views on my streams back then, nope, not happening now. So nothing can be compared to early to mid 2019. That was the largest explosion of growth this channel's ever seen, and nothing will ever rival it again, most likely. So that's okay. Thanks for the contribution, though. The Litecoin. Thank you. So we're pulling back, man. We're pulling back on Hex. Or I'm sorry, on VeChain. Sorry, Hex was on the mind right there. There's no edge on VeChain on 4 at all. Nothing. Except you bounced off the 9.8 cents. That's it. So it's just waiting on Bitcoin. It's going to literally mimic Bitcoin locally. VeChain. Something kind of cool, I guess, on VeChain is like if you take this low right here, this low from August 18th, and the low from August 27th. I mean, you're trying to hold that local level. So maybe above 11.2 cents is really, really good. Because you don't have much history back here, you know, there's this one high here too. I don't know. Was it anywhere else? Yeah, this was like manufactured, created initially on the 18th of August. So it's not really that strong or historical, but it's real, and you're above it. You're trying to hold above it. But you can see the oscillators have just done a reset there, and there's nothing implying that sellers are exhausted yet, just like Bitcoin. Identical chart, VeChain, Bitcoin, and many others locally within the past, you know, couple days. All right, next one was that one, okay. Some of y'all have been here before. Yeah, it was just yep, Trust Swap, 88% retrace. At major inflection point, it's the zone. I think there's a candle I close looking on the daily. Yep, that's it. That's how I marked it. Candle high close back here from August of 2020. You're below it. You need to get back above it. You get back above it, all will be well. Right? You have an alert set up at 148.
Bearish divergence on the S&P 500. Are we ready for a financial crisis in Europe/USA? What could that mean for Bitcoin?
Bearish divergence has been developing on the S&P 500, NASDAQ for like ever since the COVID crash. It just constantly does that. It constantly bearishly diverges and then sells off and then pivots, makes a higher low, and then runs again. You know. So sure, a pullback could certainly occur. We're getting, 'tis the season. October, the worst year ever for stocks by far. Like every major collapse on the stock market that's ever happened in October, except for the COVID crash, I think. So yeah, we're getting around that time, man. But no telling with this dynamic of the Federal Reserve buying up record levels of assets, buying bonds, buying everything, not tapering. You imagine what's going to happen when the tapering begins. I mean, yeah, this whole thing could come unraveling. It's really weird, man. I don't think anyone can truly explain it, what's happening, or how it's going to end either.
Crazy how much data is stored in these little candles. Each chart has a story to tell. Can we check the Google Trends?
We can check Google Trends. That was painting a cipher or Gartley, because I saw someone post it and it was a shorter time scale but had a higher high, so it might have been a cipher. Yeah, well look, so this one is a request. Until you get back, like I love it above 148 because I think it's going to 230 if it breaks that. But Bitcoin caused, it wasn't even Bitcoin. It was August 25th. It's been selling off. So as long as it makes a higher low than the previous low, around 59 to 60 cents, it's all good. All's well. All right, there aren't many resistance points. I mean, there's one right here. There's a high from September 2020, a high from January 3rd, a low from February 16th, multiple lows here before it rolled over. But yeah, it could come test 94, we'll say 95 cents before pivoting and rallying again. There's no real edge here on the swap. It did fall below the level you wanted to be above. But like, you know, reasonably speaking, you think about an X, A, B, C, D, right? X, A, B, C, D. It's the 886, right? It's good. This could have been a reaction low, could be going for a reversal low. So it may go down to 66 cents and still be at low risk, high reward opportunity areas. Major harmonic structures. The last, my God, 170. Oh, this is almost a freaking year. It's like 10 months or something. 10-month large harmonic. So yeah, I think this is at the, you know, a structure that large. Yeah, major new waves occur where they go up, but it could take a while. So like a lot of the other altcoins, that's why you think like the altcoin rally is not done based on the fact, well, at least for a lot of them that have not even come close. A lot of them have only just hit a 23% retrace from their this cycle's high to the correction low. That's really shallow, man. And normally assets don't only retrace 23%. They normally retrace more than that, 38 to 61%, okay, off these major XABCDs, M shapes. There you go. Okay, so Google Trends now, because that's the last request so far. Give me a sec. Taylor Swift, Kim Kardashian still trending, man. All right, let's look at this. The past. Past 5 years. Here it is. It looks like a Gartley to me. X, A, B, C, and then D. Yep. Back testing, all kinds. There's so much support here. If you look at it like that, support goes back to May 21st of 2017. August 2017, look at this. May of 2019, some in June of 2019, right? All over the place. What was once resistance, for the first time in history, is being regarded possibly as support. I'm not kidding. I'm literally just looking at, if we could trend line this, it's holding a level that's only been resistance for literally 4 years. Unless you broke it. You broke it a couple times. So we'll see if it holds that level, and then moon, right? We'll see what the M shapes do, not on financial markets, on Google markets, Google Trends markets.
Best TA in crypto.
Benjamin, thank you for the 6s. Much love. Kind words. I don't know about if it's real or true. It was never about that. It was about just hanging out with people that care about technical analysis, traditional technical analysis, Did we figure out how many annual patrons we have? Okay, been live for an hour and 8 minutes. So if you're enjoying the live stream, hit the like button, the bell, the sub. I know it's like not too much going on, but what are you gonna do? Really, really like Ethereum's outperformance of Bitcoin and the selling. We know that just by looking at the 4 hour. Heck, man, we could even look at the daily and understand. August 27th, where did traders settle up? Much, much higher than before. In Bitcoin, that's not the case. Bitcoin's now like right at or lower than those same levels. So more market participants owning this asset than they did just a week ago, or maybe 10 days ago or something like that. So if it was up to me and I was looking at technicals and I was playing technicals and you asked me Ethereum or Bitcoin, I would say Ethereum. That's it. Fundamentally Ethereum too, kind of. I don't know, El Salvador's insane, but don't forget, don't let that distract you. Oh yeah, my God, Kirk, how did I forget that? My bad, man. All right, here's your Doge, man. Yeah, it was really, really tough. It had broken a supply line, a wedge. It looked good, underperformed. Then Bitcoin dumps, and what happened to this one? It dumped too, went to 23 cents, which is an inflection point. And it held it. It's above the 200-day moving average as well. It was showing hidden bullish divergence. Didn't matter with Bitcoin. So M shape in development, I mean, you could just think, right? Just an M shape here where this could go if things got bad for Bitcoin. I would be looking for 18 cents pattern completion zone if it was going to. It would be a beautiful spot to be created though, right? On the daily. So if, just think about it, things continue downward for Bitcoin. Nothing's implying on the 4 hour that they're going to reverse now. So if Bitcoin was going to continue to sell off, so would Doge, it would break 23 cents and you'd be looking for a reaction at 18 cents, which is a candle low close from June 21st. So it could be a spring back test of spring with an M shape. That could be awesome. But yeah, it's above the 200-day moving average. It's above 23 cents. So if that holds, everything's good. Probably just gonna follow Bitcoin. What's up, Luke, dude? Thanks for 25. And sorry again, Kirk, man.
Zerker tip
My bad,
$25. Hey Mitch, ramp is on
It's like-
Binance. Looks like it's in an inflection zone. Holding the low from 23rd April as support. Could put a stop below the low on TP at 0.51. Spin?
Rothy here.
What'd you say?
Mind if you cover Uma? Appreciate your Mitch praying gesture.
Riffin, thank you, dude. Luke, thank you, man. Yeah, we'll look at ramp for sure.
If you have time to kill throw Algo back up. It's trying to break on out. 44% carry. Hey Mitch, feel like having a little fun?
Having a little fun, what does that mean? Yeah, I love having fun. I don't have enough of it. Especially on days like this. I don't know, what do you mean though, Hollywood dude? What do you mean? Oh, Luke says spin. What day is it? Wednesday? I don't know, I mean, whatever, dude. Not gonna, I believe it won't land on Chuck. I win. Okay, so that is an idea for things. This is your bad case scenario where Bitcoin continues to sell off and goes and tests its low again of 42.8.
1 minute $1/used chart.
All right, I'll consider your two contributions together for that. Yep. All right, let me get back to making sure I'm in the order. Okay, next one was that one. Okay. I've been here before. I think. Yeah. Yeah, man. Okay, so this one is been a while. Created those new lows down there. God. Tested a major 53 cent. That's definitely real. It's making a higher low. Still hidden bullish divergence in the 4 hour. Very real. Pivoting. I mean, above the 200 moving average. Dude, this is really good. It's still like kind of unfazed. Look at that demand line there. It's beautiful. I mean, you think if this pivots and holds here, look at this low right there. Wow, I love ramp above 38.79 cents because I know the upside is most likely 53 cents again. So the upside from here, if this asset held on, even though it's up 4% today almost, still 30% upside to go test 53 cents. You ever break that? Wow, you could be going to 83 cents. So yeah, it's interesting. Definitely interesting above 38.79 cents. That's a great area to say, I don't know if I want anything to do with this below that because there's just straight down, straight up. But you got the demand line that it can go test. But I like how it failed to test the demand line again because there maybe is too much demand. Yeah, it's definitely showing like potential hidden bullish divergence right there. Yeah. It's not a bad asset. I mean, it's kind of okay. Really nice uptrend. Oh yeah. Now the next one. Riffin, you snuck one in on me. UMA. Yeah, so UMA, man, it's like, it's a major level, okay? Anything above $10 is really good. I hate how on the 4 hour there's no edge. It's gonna dump if Bitcoin dumps because Bitcoin's not showing an edge on the 4 hour either. Nothing's implying a reversal on Bitcoin on the 4 hour. So that's my issue there, kind of. And definitely could be an X, A, B, C, D thing, or 886. You could be going down to 830. And it sucks, but like, dang, man, just looking at the inflection point on UMA, you got to be really intrigued here because historically some crazy things have happened, right? It was created as a resistance, that candle high close October of last year. Obvious, I mean, obviously it's been regarded as resistance. Look, candle high close, January 7th. Okay, so started there, resistance, 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 resistance. But all of a sudden, one day in January, you broke above it. Traders settled up higher than it. Then it back tested that level that we've just talked about as support. And after it did that successfully, the asset appreciated in value at its highest point, 350% in a week or less than a week. So all I'm doing is looking at these inflection points in the history, the price actions history at these levels, and we broke that level again August 9th, but we never really back tested it as support ever. So market participants, I guess they just didn't know. But here we are. As of yesterday and today, UMA market participants are attempting to test that old resistance, 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 support, support, resistance, resistance as support. So that is why it is extremely intriguing to me. You can see my thought process on why I like it above $10. But at the same time, on the 4 hour, nothing's implying a reversal here. Not even really the daily. Nothing's really implying a continuation or reversal to the upside here. So you don't have really any help on the oscillators, but you do have historical price action at trend lines. That's really nice. So it helps you be able to maybe identify or at least strategize stop losses on this. It has made the mega M shape, chat, the complete reset. If it makes a high or low here, holds this level, the upside is vast, major upside. Or eventually, it could be a couple months, but eventually if Bitcoin pivots and holds and rallies again, talking $30. That's it. Okay, that's your UMA, Raffin, Raffin. Hopefully that helps my thought process on what was posted. All right. Okay, this is like literally a request, so don't get mad at me, man. What is beautiful though, it's like one of the top gainers today. It's almost up 20%. I mean, bullish engulfing candle will be confirmed on the daily for one or harmony the US dollar tether in 34 minutes and 30 seconds. Engulfing candle yesterday tested the 200 moving average again, tested the other major inflection point, held above it. Now you're at the other one that we've had plotted here, 15 cents above that, minimum 17.5, but eventually probably. Sorry, I plotted these on the 4 hour, these candle high close. 19.8 cents, like 20 cents will be your target above 15 cents, which is like 25 to 30% upside. So that's the daily. But he said he wants the 1 minute chart. So I'm like, okay, I'm looking at the 1 minute. Oh God, 1 minute, there's a harmonic, dude. Okay. I don't really hold any weight on any of these assets on 1 minute charts. Cool, it's an X, A, B, C, D. That's all I see. I'm not going to plot anything because it's a joke. So much fun, man. Hollywood, good one, dude. Read. Yeah, screw the 1 minute. The daily looks very interesting. Unphased in the end. You understand how unphased, right? Because in 33 minutes, one will be showing us the highest candle close since May 18th. Yes, higher than 2 days ago before Bitcoin crashed. Yeah. That's where you would say completely unphased. Volatility, but no fall through price action off that bearish volatility. That's it, dude. Don't think I'm gonna make it to the end of the daily close today. It's just one of those days, man. But just remember, you got some altcoins, no problem. I mean, a lot of them, they pull back, but they're still very much bullish, and the major wave is still intact. Full Ethereum, man. Higher lows than the previous discernible swing lows. Bitcoin's not doing what Ethereum's doing. It's just not. It's better technically. And look at that, dude. I'm telling you, Ethereum to BTC, hidden bullish divergence playing out, bouncing on that 200 moving average. Attempting to rally here. I think it's going to 8.2 to 8.6 million Satoshis. Bullish engulfing candle in the midst of being painted. Only 31 minutes till this is confirmed. After showing you, like I showed you earlier, reiterating the 20 and the 50, beautiful, stupidly bullish. Anytime your price correlates on the daily to these faster moving averages, the 50, the magenta, and the yellow, the 20. Tested the 20 and said, ha, big bounce, and now engulfing afterwards. And again, there was no bearish divergence on either oscillator. It just reset. Currently sitting at 61. Bullish control zone on the daily on ETH to BTC. This is implying, yes, Ethereum will continue to outperform Bitcoin. That's what this chart's telling us. For now. Riding those MAs. Like cowboy. Alright. Like, yes, you reacted at the 886, but the trend's so bullish that I just don't hold too much weight on a bearish harmonic where I would say, hey, people might take profit, sells off, reacts, but then pivots, makes a much higher low, and then runs again, and then begins to violate the PCZ and goes up to those next inflection points from history. One that you haven't tested yet, that I think you will eventually test, May of 2018. And if you ever break that, my God, look out for 11.3 million Satoshis. Ethereum greater than Bitcoin right now if we're talking about technicals. Yup. US dollar too. So, alright. I think a pretty decent stream today. Thanks everyone for coming out. Make sure the likes, love, support, contributions, everything in between. And I'll just be, thanks for the 454 likes. I thought we could get 500, but whatever. I don't deserve 500 likes. Okay. All right, so I'll be back. Until next time, respect the T. Hey.